long before European ships reached the shores of the Americas, a great city thrived. This city was Cahokia. It was located in what is now southern Illinois. The mighty Mississippi River flowed nearby. Cahokia was the largest city north of Mexico in its time. Thousands of people called Cahokia home. They built enormous earthen mounds. These mounds still stand today as silent witnesses. They tell a story of a complex society. Imagine a city larger than London was in the same era. People from distant regions came to Cahokia. They came to trade, to participate in ceremonies, or perhaps to live. The city was a hub of innovation and power. Its people developed sophisticated ways of living. Today, Cahokia Mounds is a state historic site. It is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Exploring Cahokia is like stepping back in time. The story of Cahokia begins humbly. Small settlements first appeared near the Mississippi River around 700 CE. The land was fertile here. The American bottom floodplain provided rich soil for farming. Rivers offered pathways for travel and resources like fish. Early inhabitants lived in small villages. They hunted, fished, and gathered wild plants. They also began to cultivate local crops. Over time, these small communities grew. A significant change occurred around 900 CE. This marked the beginning of the Mississippian cultural phase. People started building larger, more permanent villages. They began constructing earthen mounds. Maize or corn became a very important crop. It allowed for larger populations to be supported. This agricultural revolution was a key factor in Cahokia's development. The transition to Mississippian culture was not just about food. It involved new social structures and religious beliefs. Leaders likely organized communal labor, such as mound building. Cahokia was perfectly positioned to become a central place. Its location at the confluence of several major rivers was strategic. The early stages of Cahokia saw a gradual increase in population. The seeds of a metropolis were sown in the rich soil of the American bottom. By around 1050 CE, Cahokia underwent a rapid transformation. This period is sometimes called its Big Bang. The city exploded in size and population. It reached its peak around 1100 CE. At this time, Cahokia was a vast urban center. It covered nearly 6 square miles. Its population may have reached 10,000 to 20,000 people within the city itself. This made it a significant urban settlement on a global scale for its time. The city was not a random collection of houses, it was a planned urban landscape. A large central precinct was the heart of Cahokia. This area contained the largest mounds and important public spaces. Residential neighborhoods spread out from this core. The layout suggests a sophisticated understanding of urban planning. Streets and pathways connected different parts of the city. Life in Cahokia at its zenith must have been vibrant. Craftsmen created pottery, tools, and ornaments. Traders arrived with goods from far-off lands. The central part of Cahokia was enclosed by a defensive wooden palisade. Inside this palisade were the most important mounds, including the Grand Monk's Mound. The city's design reflected its social and religious importance. The most dominant feature of Cahokia is Monk's Mound. It remains the largest pre-Columbian earthen structure in North America. Monk's Mound covers about 14 acres at its base. It rises in 4 terraces to a height of about 100 feet. Its construction was an incredible feat of engineering and labor. Millions of cubic feet of earth were moved by hand. This process took many decades, possibly centuries, to complete. Monk's Mound was not just a pile of dirt. It was a carefully engineered platform. It served as the ceremonial and political heart of the city. Atop its highest terrace likely stood a large wooden building. This building might have been the residence of Cahokia's paramount chief or a temple. The mound symbolized power, authority, and a connection to the spiritual world. The urban planning of Cahokia extended beyond Monk's Mound. The city was laid out with a clear understanding of space and alignment. Major mounds and plazas were oriented to cardinal directions. Some alignments seemed to correspond to astronomical events. The Grand Plaza, south of Monk's Mound, was a huge open area. It covered nearly 50 acres. This space was likely used for public gatherings, markets, games, and important ceremonies. The careful design of Cahokia reflects a complex world view. The builders of Cahokia were skilled engineers and planners. Cahokia's society was likely hierarchical. At the top were the rulers and elites. These individuals probably lived on or near the major mounds. They controlled resources and directed public works. They also likely played key roles in religious ceremonies. Below them were priests, skilled artisans, and warriors. The majority of the population consisted of farmers and laborers. Cultural practices at Cahokia were rich and varied. Religion played a central role in daily life. Ceremonies were likely held to ensure good harvests, honor ancestors, and maintain cosmic balance. Music, dance, and feasting were probably important parts of these rituals. The game of chunky was popular. It involved throwing spears at rolling stone discs. This game had both recreational and ceremonial significance. Trade was vital to Cahokia's prosperity. The city was a major hub in a vast exchange network. Raw materials and finished goods flowed into and out of Cahokia. Copper came from the Great Lakes region. Shells arrived from the Gulf of Mexico. Mica was sourced from the southern Appalachians. Agriculture, especially the cultivation of maize, was the backbone of Cahokia's economy. The success of Cahokian agriculture was fundamental to its rise. West of Monk's Mound, archaeologists discovered a series of large circular features known as Woodhenge. They were made of tall wooden posts set upright in the ground. These circles served as a form of ancient astronomical calendar. Certain posts aligned with the sunrise at the solstices and equinoxes. This allowed Cahokians to track the seasons. Such knowledge was crucial for agriculture and for scheduling important ceremonies. Woodhenge demonstrates the Cahokians' sophisticated understanding of astronomy. The precise placement of the posts required careful observation and measurement. The ability to predict solstices and equinoxes was important. It helped them determine planting and harvesting times. It also likely played a role in their religious beliefs. Mount 72 is another site of immense archaeological importance at Cahokia. It is a relatively small ridge-top mound located south of Monk's Mound. Excavations in the 1960s revealed a series of astonishing burials. One central burial was particularly elaborate. It contained the remains of an important male leader. He was laid on a bed of over 20,000 marine shell beads. These beads were arranged in the shape of a falcon or thunderbird. This burial clearly shows his high status. Around this central figure were other burials. Some were mass graves containing groups of individuals, primarily young women. These findings provide stark evidence of social hierarchy and ritual sacrifice at Cahokia. After centuries of growth and prosperity, Cahokia began to decline. This decline started around 1200 CE. By 1350 CE, the great city was largely abandoned. The reasons for this decline are complex and not fully understood. Archaeologists believe a combination of factors likely contributed to its demise. No single cause can explain the abandonment of such a major urban center. The process was probably gradual, occurring over several generations. One significant factor may have been environmental degradation. Supporting a large population for centuries put a strain on local resources. Deforestation was likely a major issue. Changes in climate, such as prolonged droughts or more frequent floods, might have also impacted agriculture. Social and political factors probably played a role as well. Maintaining control over a large, diverse population can be challenging. There might have been internal conflicts or factionalism within Cahokia. The decline of Cahokia was not necessarily a collapse of Mississippian culture itself. Instead, it seems to have been a dispersal of its population. The reasons for this abandonment remain a subject of ongoing research and debate among scholars. After its abandonment in the 14th century, Cahokia faded from memory for many centuries. The earthen mounds remained, but their origins became obscured. European settlers who arrived in the area in the 18th and 19th centuries saw the mounds. Some recognized them as human-made structures. Early accounts often misunderstood their significance. Henry Brackenridge, a lawyer and writer, visited the site in 1811. He was one of the first to describe it in detail. He recognized its importance as an ancient city. Systematic archaeological investigation of Cahokia began in the 20th century. Early excavations were often limited, however, they started to reveal the complexity of the site. Warren K. Moorhead conducted significant work in the 1920s. His investigations brought national attention to Cahokia. Later, large-scale salvage archaeology projects, especially in the 1960s due to highway construction, uncovered vast amounts of information. The importance of Cahokia gained wider recognition over time. In 1964, Cahokia Mounds was designated a National Historic Landmark. The most significant recognition came in 1982 when UNESCO declared Cahokia Mounds a World Heritage Site. Today, Cahokia Mounds State Historic Site is managed by the Illinois Historic Preservation Agency. Ongoing research continues to shed new light on Cahokia. Visiting Cahokia Mounds today offers a unique opportunity. It allows you to walk in the footsteps of an ancient civilization. You can climb to the top of Monk's Mound. From there, you can gaze out over the landscape. You can imagine the bustling city that once stood there. The interpretive center provides valuable context. Its exhibits and film help bring the story of Cahokia to life. Walking trails guide visitors to key features of the site. These include Woodhenge and other mounds. The legacy of Cahokia is profound. It challenges common misconceptions about Native American history. It shows that complex urban societies existed in North America long before European contact. Cahokia was a center of innovation, art, and social organization. Its people developed sophisticated agricultural practices. They engineered monumental architecture. They maintained extensive trade networks. Understanding Cahokia enriches our understanding of the human past. It highlights the diversity of human achievement across the globe. Cahokia stands as a powerful testament to Indigenous achievements. Preserving and studying sites like Cahokia is crucial. It helps us honor this heritage. It allows us to learn from the successes and failures of past civilizations. By engaging with its past, we gain a deeper appreciation for the rich tapestry of human civilization on this continent.